Hey everyone, Jeremy Shinewald here, founder and president of mbaMission, and I'm here with our Northwestern Kellogg essay analysis for 2019-2020. We do video analyses for every top school, and we also do written analysis. So you can check out our blog or our YouTube channel to see others in this series. So let's take a look at Kellogg's two questions. The first one is a fairly straightforward leadership question, asking you to provide a recent example where you demonstrated leadership and created value, and then to discuss the challenges you faced and what you learned from the experience. The second required essay, also 450 words, is a values question. What values are what guide you in your life and work? What values are important to you and how have they influenced you? Fairly straightforward prompts. Let's take a look, just some opening thoughts. First of all, there's no why Kellogg. There's no discussion of goals. So traditionally, and Kellogg historically, has asked you to discuss offer your connection to the school, and that is no longer here, and you shouldn't force that. Secondly, these are fairly narrow prompts. We'll go into each one in a moment, but they don't give you a lot of room to discuss a breadth of opportunity, though we do have some suggestions for how you might do that with essay 2 in particular. So let's look at essay 1. What do you need to know? First of all, recent. What does recent mean? A year, 2 years? It depends where you are in your life. It depends how how impactful the experience was, the magnitude of it. You have to use your judgment, but I'd say a pretty good guideline is anything maybe within the last 2 years is probably recent. You want to share the story of the experience, not only the experience. So it's not enough to just say, I coached a kids soccer team and this is what I learned. You have to explain how you experience that, the coaching of the kids soccer team in this little example. And you want to incorporate some of the ups and downs of that experience. We lost all our games, I kept the motivation up. You want to tell the narrative, have the story of how you experience leadership with the ups and downs, because I think a big mistake that people make is they say, hey, I had this awesome leadership experience, and what I learned from the ups and downs are, and there's no evidence of the ups and downs. And so that's kind of a problem, because the reader doesn't really understand that you experienced ups and downs and sort of feels oddly like tacked on at the end. So you want to incorporate a story. Any leadership example that you're really proud of that was really impactful is going to inherently have some ups and downs. It's going to be hard earned, otherwise it won't be that significant. You want to incorporate them into the narrative, and you want there to be fairly clear takeaways. They're asking, what did you learn? So you don't just say, from this experience, I learned perseverance, period. You have to reflect and comment on how it shaped your perspective or your experiences going forward, etc., in order for this to work. So there's your crash course in essay number 1. Crash course in essay number 2. What values are important to you and how they influence you. Now here I said there's a little bit more room to roam, because you can provide more than one example that supports your values, or you can provide a value that has more than one example that supports it. So let's say hypothetically, I've founded mbaMission. A value that is really important to me is creation, right? So maybe I'm an entrepreneur beyond just founding mbaMission. Maybe I can talk about this in other aspects of my life, or maybe it's a creative process of starting a business, and I can talk about creative processes in other parts of my life and how that value has come together to shape me and shape my experience. So there's a way of drawing in other experiences. Now you don't want to just be a long list, 450 words, 3 lines here, 3 lines there, over and over again about creating something and moving on, right? You don't want to make it a laundry list. You want to have maybe 2 core experiences, maybe 3 that support your theme. And then you have to discuss, how they influence you, right? So it has to show, a cause and effect relationship between that value and what you've done in your life. Some of that might come up naturally, but you have to be aware of it and ensure that you're answering the question. And if you offer clear examples, then they'll really prove your values, right? If you're just saying, one of my values is creation, I live it every day, like I have to give an example of how I am a creator in order to ensure that value is clear. That's pretty much it. I mean, we're going to move on here with a couple of other tips if you want to follow up. We have like I noted, our written Kellogg essay analysis. We have our Kellogg Insider's Guide. You have to learn about the school in order to have an effective interview and an effective video interview as well. So check out our Kellogg Insider's Guide. And if you have any questions at all about your profile, your candidacy, please feel free to reach out to us for a 30-minute consultation. It's 30 minutes. What we always say is it's 30 minutes of our paid service, only it's free, meaning that we are offering you the same advice that we'd offer anyone else who paid. It's not a commercial. It's an opportunity for you to learn about yourself and your journey. With that, I wish you the best of luck with your Kellogg essays in 2019, 2020.